said that, question marks certainly over the kind of remarks that the Vice Chancellor made. I appreciate your joining us though and clearing the air on a story which has gathered momentum of a kind where it's almost become a Hindu-Muslim issue in a way. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to give my take on the issue. The Aligarh Muslim University controversy is a classic example where the lines between sense and sensation are being blurred. Yes, the Vice Chancellor has made some rather flippant statements to justify why women undergraduate students from a particular college were kept away from the library. But to suggest that the no entry rule was universal or smacked of gender prejudice is to fall for a stereotype. AMU's biggest problem has been falling academic standards, an issue that goes well beyond the gender debate. Okay, let's turn to the big political controversy today. Congress leader Abhishek Manu Singhvi, its spokesperson, now has landed himself in a tax suit. The source of his woes, it appears, are the manner in which he has filed his tax returns and now finds he is now being subject to a huge penalty. Singhvi claims that termites went through the purchase vouchers of items which were to be shown as expenditure. This argument has few takers. The Congress leader claims he's being fixed.
Congress MP Abhishek Manu Singhvi facing heat for alleged tax evasion. And to add to his woes, the Settlement Commission has slapped an additional penalty of 56.7 crore rupees. The case pertains to Singhvi's inability to furnish documentary proof for some laptop and solar panel purchases. For defense, Singhvi said that those files became a casualty of a termite attack. But it seems that both the Settlement Commission and the Income Tax Department refuse to buy this argument. But Singhvi is trying political conspiracy, alleging that he hasn't been given a fair trial.
There is premeditated legal malice and there are forces. I'm not talking to you about the forces. There are forces.
Who are the forces? Political forces?
There are forces
within your party,
level.
BJP?
I am not excluding any force. There are forces, departmental, otherwise professional, political.
Political forces also against you, trying to fix you.
Certainly.
The Income Tax Department believes that Abhishek Manu Singhvi has concealed income. However, Abhishek Manu Singhvi believes otherwise. And that is why he took once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of approaching the Settlement Commission.
The BJP getting a stick to beat the Congress with. Only yesterday, the Congress launched a full frontal offensive, accusing Modi's Minister Y.S. Chaudhary of failing to pay 316 crore rupees to a bank.
We have seen as to how Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi has no documentary proof to back as to where he spent his money. Everything is fudged.
The Congress finds itself on the defensive regarding the issue of Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Yesterday only it was attacking the government over the induction of MOS Y.S. Chaudhary. But the real point is here whether the law of land will prevail or only political brownie points will be scored.
Though Jodhpur High Court has stayed the Settlement Commission's order, what began as an alleged tax evasion row has certainly triggered a political war. With Ashish Maharishi and Ashar Ahmed Khan, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
So what really is Abhishek Manu Singhvi's defense in this tax controversy? Does he really have a case? Listen in to my interview with the Congress spokesperson. Welcome to this Headlines Today special. We are joined by the newsmaker of the day, Congress spokesperson and senior advocate, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, on the controversy swirling around him over a tax dispute. Dr. Singhvi, you've got the BJP now gunning for you, saying that this is a case not just of a tax dispute, but of tax evasion involving black money. That you have deliberately not given the expenses that you actually incurred to try and avoid taxation. That's the entire claim against you. It's not just tax avoidance, it's prima facie tax evasion involving black money.
Rajdeep, I have given a short statement and barring this particular very short interaction, I'm not speaking, but the statement gives you all the bullet points. But let me add, you started by saying tax dispute. A tax dispute is not discussable in the manner in which confidentiality is being violated today. The whole proceeding in a settlement commission which is created to settle disputes is by statute supposed to be confidential. Second and more important, after the order is received in end September, the High Court has stayed the operation of the order. Today in the eye of law, the order which everybody is shouting about doesn't exist because it is being stayed, the operation of it is being stayed.
No, I take your
But
point.
let me point out,
That's the procedural
No,
point.
forget the
What
procedural.
about the
Let me come-
substantive
let me
issue?
come to
Because the substantive issues are where,
Substantive.
let me give you the example and you can then respond. The Income Tax Department and the Settlement Commission has contested your claim that you purchased laptops worth rupees 5 crores for a member of your staff over 3 financial
I
years
answer?
because you have 14 professionals, which means you purchased
Right.
1250 laptops because each laptop costs 40,000
Let
rupees.
me answer you because
Yeah,
you've
please go
interrupted my...
Substantive.
First thing
The
is
substantive issues.
There is no allegation about 100% receipts in check. The allegation is about alleged over-expensing.
That's right.
The allegation is based on situations which are assumptions, pure assumptions. They levy penalty when they have no power to levy penalty, they can only refuse immunity. They levy penalty on the basis of a statement made by a person who is not allowed to be cross-examined by me. They adjourn the matter for 2.5 months for that person at his request, but when I want to cross-examine, they don't give me 1 day. They do this whole process of penalty on the basis of a statement recorded 120 days after 90-day time limit.
Are you
Now
saying the Settlement Commission has deliberately tried to fix you?
There is
The settlement-
premeditated legal malice and there are forces. I'm not talking to you about the force. There are forces.
Who
at
are the
all
forces?
levels. There are
Political forces?
There are forces
Within your
at
party,
every level.
BJP?
I am not excluding any force. There are forces, departmental, otherwise professional, political.
Political
but-
forces also
but
against
of
you,
course,
trying to fix you.
Certainly. Because if you read this order, there is no, since the Settlement Commission is created, if you can point out a single order like this, I would like to see it. But let me complete. The whole basis of going was a recorded complaint which has not been displaced in the order about destruction of records way back in 2012. It is recorded. The basis therefore for filing is that I have no records, therefore I am offering more for taxation. Just a minute. I offer more for taxation on the basis I have no records. The Settlement Commission turns it on its head and says, because you have no records, we will now say that you must offer for expense 90%, only 10% claim, and will impose penalty on the whole 90%. So it's turning the entire argument on its head. Now the laptop example, for example. Laptop for the example.
Yes.
Laptop, there is a assumption that each laptop costs X rupees. They divide the total amount of 5 crore by that amount and say 1450 laptops. They don't count, there is no 14 staff. It's a period of 3.5 years with innumerable juniors and interns who come and
But
go.
even if they were
The amount
seems rather excessive.
Let
that you
me
have
assume,
spent 5 crores on
precisely
laptops for 14 professionals.
over
who
a
are coming.
period of 3 years.
So they are allowed to take their laptops with them.
One minute.
Your
Over a period
juniors
of
can
3
take their
years,
laptop.
which is why, because of absence of records, a Settlement Commission application was filed. If people don't understand the difference between the black money debate going out there of foreign accounts versus this Settlement Commission statutory proceeding, then I can only lament their mental bankruptcy and their lack of intelligence. But I can understand there are people out there who, having published a piece, want to now play it up in the press. That's all.
You seem to be suggesting you're the victim of a political conspiracy.
Well,
in a
I'm
way.
not saying
Someone's trying to fix
conspiracy,
you.
no.
Let me come to specifics. The two specifics which have raised doubt. One is termites. One is that the documentary evidence has been destroyed by termites. Naturally, people are going to question if a senior counsel like you,
It's a very nice thing to say.
senior counsel like you, who earns so much, surely your
Can we
tax
straight
records
away-
are kept in
Let
perfect
me
order.
give
It
you a
appears
simple
that you have
answer.
destroyed
No,
your
no,
documentary evidence through termites.
It's very easy to say this.
Yes.
Well before any coercive steps were taken against me, in 2012, assessments are being done for the last 30 years in Jodhpur. The chartered accountant in 2012, well before department takes any coercive action, files a complaint. That is recorded, verified, receipted. Till today in the Settlement Commission order, where you are heaping ridicule, this destruction of records point, as you just now put it, is not displaced. If that point remains, and I on my own go in 2013 to the Settlement Commission.
No,
on
I
that
take
basis,
that. I take your point,
therefore
but
you-
destruction of evidence of the manner which
Of the
seems to have been,
expenses.
of the expenses seems to be prima facie a case to avoid tax or to evade tax.
Let me assume this, 1 minute. I have avoided tax, right?
Yes.
Therefore, I go on my own to offer for tax up to 75-80%. Commission makes it 90%. That may be payable. How on earth does that become? The commission is created for this. That when you don't have records, you go and place before the commission and say, I'm offering for tax. I on my own offer it. The commission adds a full 100% penalty on it.
Sir,
on what basis?
So the point is that the absurdity of both
Otherwise,
the
if there were
termites
records-
argument and the laptop argument are going against you at the moment.
But if I
you
had
are
the
focusing on
records-
procedural issues.
No, not procedural issues. They are jurisdictional issues. If I had the records, I'd go an assessment. Why would a person in the 60 years or 40 years history of settlement commission go for disclosure on his own, then receive penalty and possible prosecution? I would go on an assessment proceeding if I had the records. The whole purpose is been forgotten. In the absence of records, there is a voluntary disclosure by me of up to 75. They make it 85% or so. Doesn't matter, let it be 85%. How do they levy penalty on that?
So the fact is, you are in public life. The real question is, Abhishek Manu Singhvi is a Congress spokesperson. Only yesterday the Congress went and targeted a TDP minister who has been appointed in the Union Cabinet, saying that he has either avoided tax or in his case he has not paid up his bank loans.
Look.
Therefore the question comes, the standard expected of an Abhishek Manu Singhvi is much higher than that of an average citizen.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi is not entitled to exercise statutory rights in settlement commission. A special act was created. Just now, the Modi government has expanded the reach of the settlement commission to have expeditious disposal by a new notification in October. Abhishek Singhvi has no right to challenge the order, which came in September. In October, first week, the operation is stayed. You are talking of a sub judice matter. I have not received justice. I am confident that I will receive justice ultimately. And you are simply, people are throwing it up, confusing with total utter, I have seen some programs, utter mental bankruptcy, not a single case of receipts, 100% in check, and just throwing it up.
No, therefore it's again coming to the higher standard that is expected from someone in public life who's one of the country's top lawyers. Surely the country's top lawyer would have all his tax records in better shape than they appear to be in this case.
And regrettably, one of the countries, not for now, but for 10 years or more, highest taxpayers.
Did you make
who doesn't receive a fair crack of the whip? Only because, you see, it is true that you are in public life, you must maintain standards. But equally because you are in public life, you must not get in natural justice and fairness less than the lowest person with the least resources. That's
could
what
I ask you then in conclusion, is it that your tax records were in a mess and to avoid payment of tax, basically you had to resort to suggesting that your laptops cost 5 crores or that the documents were destroyed by termites?
No, where is the question? This laptop argument is irrelevant. It is because the records were destroyed that 75% of the total 100% check receipts were offered for taxation.
And even you've got this case of a solar panel. You've got a case of a solar panel where an individual claims that you did not pay him the kind of money that you have placed in your record. In your records, you have placed a certain amount of money that you claim you spent on solar panels. He denies that money was ever paid to him.
That is the whole beauty of this jurisdictional error. That person's statement is recorded. It is recorded only to fix me 90 days or 100 days after the statutory time limit. That statement comes for the first time to me in May. I asked for cross-examination. For him, they adjourned it by 2.5 months. In July, he turns up for the first time after 2 adjournments with 500 pages of documents. I asked for 1 day to cross-examine on those documents. They deny me. So how do you rely on the unverified, uncross-examined, unrebutted statement of a person who is clearly a defaulter?
Because you claimed that you spent 36 crores for those solar panels for your company. The owner who sold the solar panel has accepted before the IT department that this claim is inflated.
I'm not discussing the details. I'm telling you, these are pure allegations of an unrebutted statement which has been used. That is totally inadmissible. It's a jurisdictional error, and this is absolutely no business of settlement commission.
Are you leaving it jurisdictional error, or are you saying that there are substantive issues which are still up before the court in Jodhpur?
This man is a defaulter. He's going to be criminally and civilly sued. He's a defaulter. He's not paid the lease rental. He's given a self-serving statement.
Sir, in this interview, you are suggesting someone is trying to fix you. I want to get it clear.
I'm not
No, you've suggested that. You've suggested maybe people within the income tax department or the settlement commission.
There are forces,
who are these forces?
I don't want to add or
because this is not the first time you've got yourself into trouble as Congress spokesperson.
Yes.
Do you believe that there is somebody who's gunning for you on each occasion?
Otherwise, why would you discuss a settlement commission order which has been stayed by the High Court in this manner in the media? The only object is to create a sensation.
Is the objective to have you removed from the Congress panel of spokesperson?
Look,
because that's what happened last time.
Let me tell you.
You remember the
This
Kerala
could be-
lottery
I am very
case and the
happy.
video case? In
These
each
are
case,
decisions.
you were removed from
Let
the
me tell
Congress
you, these
spokesperson
are not
panel.
decisions taken by you or me. These are decisions taken by higher powers. So long as they want me, no power on earth can remove me. So long when they don't want me, no power on earth can keep me there. I am happy either way.
Is your
and please
party
don't
standing
misunderstand.
behind you on this? Have you
I have no
explained to
reason
them?
to believe that the party as a whole is not standing at all. I'm not talking of individuals.
Dr. Singhvi, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, Abhishek Manu Singhvi claiming somewhere that he believes he is being fixed. Tax troubles following the Congress spokesperson. Let me go to another big story that's developing as we speak at the moment in Maharashtra, because tomorrow is the big trust vote for the BJP government there. What will the Shiv Sena do? That's the big question that's being asked. I want to go straight across to Sahil Joshi at the moment, who's joining me there from Mumbai. Sahil, very quickly, what is the Shiv Sena going to do tomorrow? Are they going to back the BJP or not?
See, the whip says that tomorrow 9 o'clock Shiv Sena leadership is going to address this issue and going to issue a particular orders to their MLAs that what exactly they should be doing in the speaker selection. The speaker selection will happen at 12 o'clock if Shiv Sena is ready to go ahead with their candidate. The Congress has already decided that they will not take back their candidate. So the elections are going to happen. Now, what we are hearing is that two of the Shiv Sena leaders met with Devendra Fadnavis before the Shiv Sena meeting happened, and they again requested him to sort out